Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. This is United Across the Globe. I'm joined by Matty, Paddy, and Brush. And you know what's coming right now? It's the intro. Yes, everybody, welcome back to United Across the Globe. I'm joined today by my special guests, Matty, Paddy, Brush. Guys, how are you doing?
Very good.
Well, good.
Not bad, mate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everyone's well.
Yeah, I hope everyone's good. Brilliant. Excellent.
Well, yeah, we won 2 games in a row. That's nice. I know they were a little bit turbulent. I think we were 1-0 down in both games. So we are going to delve into them too. Obviously, Europa League ammonia free. Oh my God, I put ammonia free too. It's Man United. We beat ammonia free too. Sorry, there we go. Don't get confused. Starting off with you, Matty, what did you make of the game? Like I said at the start there, we were down 1-0 and I messaged Brush and I was like, we might lose this. But things turned around in our favour, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's a good result. What I like about this is the character shown by the team to come back from a goal down and to get the point. Very important to do that, and it's important that we've seen some character within the squad now. Whereas we know we can fight back from goal down to come back and win. We made it hard for ourselves, but look, we got the win. That's the main thing. Rashford scoring a couple of goals, fantastic. It's good to see him getting his confidence back and coming back to the crowd that we know we can be. Now, obviously, I had a bit of a bad season last season, but before then, we had 2 20-plus goal seasons from him across all contributions. So we know he's a decent player in there. It does have to work on a couple of things, but no, he can work on them, and he's under the right coach to do that. He's under the right coach.
Sorry, I lost sound there for a minute. Brush, sorry, mate. Yeah. What's your thoughts, mate, on it?
Yeah, just to pick up where Matthew left off. We always make things hard for ourselves, don't we? It was a lot harder than it needed to be. There was a lot of chances that were missed that should have been taken. Poor Ronaldo, he did everything but score in that game. He couldn't buy a goal. It was crazy. It was almost like a testimonial at times, the way they were trying to set him up. And when he hit the bar, you just knew it wasn't his day. It was almost harder to do what he did than to actually score from that chance from Dalot. Just happy and glad we came away with the 3 points, really.
Yeah, it was a bit scary. And Ronaldo, I don't think was playing too great, but he did show us why we still need him. Obviously, we'll talk about that game in a minute. But Paddy, your thoughts on what you saw in the Europa League last Thursday?
Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of this Europa League. I like the Champions League. I've always been sold on that. A European Cup.
Never tell, Paddy. I could never tell.
And the Sheriff of Nottingham 11 or the Gibraltar 7, yeah, I'm not a big fan. Ammonia, which is incredible. They're great. Look, I know a few Cypriot lads. I mean, I was pleasant. When they were 1-0 up, I thought, no, really? And I thought, oh, my God. And then I said, what's the highlights? I didn't see the whole game. I was busy, but it was interesting that we got back in the game and and Ronaldo got so much stick. I think he missed a few chances. Is he finished? That's why I heard the comments after. Again, then Ratchford came on and rescued us. And to be fair play to Marcus, came on, did the business. I know Ratchford, it's Martial scoring the goal. What my colleagues did.
Martial.
We'll talk about Martial afterwards. Again, I'm not a biggest fan, but he scored the goal, got the goal, no problem. We got the win. Yeah, I think Casemiro didn't have a good game. Apparently, Malacia didn't have a good game. Took him off again each time. So we scraped it, didn't we, over there? So I think it'd be a difficult game this week. So let's see. We finished, but they're a good side. They're a good side. They gave it to us. Fantastic. They battled and did really well.
I'll tell you what, Paddy. When we went a goal behind, I got flashbacks to that game against Istanbul, Başakşehir, when we let a 35-year-old Demba Ba score against us. When Matic was on the halfway line and the defense was nowhere to be seen.
It was a worry, but at least we scored 3-2. Great, and as Matty said, Rush said, yeah, we got the points. We won it. It's these games.
That's the main thing.
And thanks to Marcus Rashford, I think. Even though I'm not a big fan of his at the moment, he's in spits.
Yeah, somewhat fortunate initially, but fantastic finish. You can take nothing away from it.
Yeah.
But fortune favours the brave, and Rashford went through it. He got a bit of luck. We got it. And what I like is we've seen character within this squad now. Under Raleigh, under Ralph, heads would have dropped, and we'd have probably got turned over quite comfortably. We seem to have got character in the squad now, whereas when we go a goal down, we know we can fight back. Look at the game against City. We went 4-0 down, but we still come back. Fair enough, we didn't get the result that game. But to show character to come back against probably the best footballing team in the world at the moment, it shows that there's a character there and there's some growing within the squad. And that's what we need to see. No, you're not just going to win straight away. It's going to take time. It's a process, and you've got to allow players time to develop and also make mistakes. If you don't allow that, then this ain't the sport for you. If you want a team that's purely going to be winning, go find the current team that's winning and just hopscotch from one team to another, because each team takes a process to get to winning. You look how long it took Liverpool with Klopp. Look at Man City with Pep, and even then before Pep came in, how long it took them. It's a process, and it's going to take time. And it's about having the right infrastructure and being able to point the right players to bring in, and getting the right characters within the squad.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. And, you are going to get results like this, unfortunately, where it's going to be tight. But at the end of the day, if we are still winning these games, and we will talk about Everton in a minute because that was tight as well, that's process of a kind, because these are the sorts of games we would be losing. So it does take time, Matty. I do agree. And you have to give Ten Hag a little bit more time. We gave Ole 3 years, so why can't we give Ten Hag a little bit more time? It's going to take a lot of infrastructure and new signings and getting rid of some dead wood as well, I think. So we'll move on to the Everton game. Actually, by the way, before I finish, it was a great few goals from Antony, and I didn't realise that Neil Lennon was the manager either, which was quite surprising. Did you know that?
Didn't know that. No, didn't know. And good. Well, look, he's Celtic, so fantastic, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I don't know, but
double whammy.
Neil Lennon's a decent coach. I mean, he's done extremely well at Celtic. If you look at him, I know people will sit there and say, "Well, it's only you can be competition that's in front of you." And when he was at Celtic, he was winning a lot. And I know it's the SPL, and it doesn't really equate to much. But if you can only beat the team that's in front of you, you can only win the league that you're in. And he's gone there and he's done it, and he's earned his dues. Brendan Rodgers was there beforehand, and he was getting into the Man United job, for goodness sake. You look at what he went and done at Liverpool, and although he didn't win anything, I believe he took him to second place. He done all right at Leicester, but he's kind of fell off now. No.
Yeah, you can't blame him for that. You got to blame Gerrard for the slip, haven't you? I think that was the second one, wasn't it?
No.
Oh dear, how sad. Never mind.
That reminds me, I was still yet to send Gerrard the money for slipping over.
I was sure banana skin, was it?
Actually, he lives up here, by the way. He doesn't live very far, mate.
Oh, doesn't it? I'll drop it off at his house then later on.
Well, let's move on then to the Everton game, because yet again we went 1-0 down and I was shaking at my boots and I was like, I can't believe this is going to be a tight game. We know what it is like going to Everton's place as well. It's a very rowdy crowd and they really do need the points as well. And they back Frank Lampard superiorly at the moment. Brush, starting with you, mate. What did you make of the result? I think fantastic. We didn't play our best, but yet we still scraped through and got the 3 points, which is very, very much what we need right now.
Yeah, most important were the 3 points, and we showed great character to come back. Everton, funny enough, had the best defensive record going into this game. I think it's because a lot of the top teams are just conceding goals for fun. I was a bit surprised to find that out about Everton. And the one thing for them, they haven't got a proper focal point up front, so you're not really sure where the goals are coming from. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't that worried about Neil Mopai. Yeah, it was a moment of magic from Iwobi. Mistake from us. Casemiro's mistake led to that chance. But, you know, it just shows that how quickly you can be punished in this league. But yeah, I think we recovered well. Rashford is extremely unlucky to have his goal ruled out, especially when you see some of the other decisions in the league this weekend. Scamacca and Antonio come to mind. I don't really know what Rashi could have done there to move his hand out the way. Like, he had no idea what was going on.
Never a penalty. Never.
No, it wasn't a penalty, I don't think, because at the end of the day, it wasn't like he purposely did it to position the ball into his favour. It just bounced off his elbow, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, the inconsistency is what bugs me there.
Yeah, that's the thing. They really need to look that up, don't they, Paddy?
Yeah. And then what can I say about the main man, Ronaldo? 700th goal. You know, he's been written off. Against Ammonia, he did everything but score, I felt. And a lot of people, the criticism with him has been that, you know, he doesn't do anything when he's not scoring. Well, that day, you know, he got involved. He was running the channels, making decoy runs, and doing a lot of stuff off the ball. And then against Everton, he got the winning goal. So there you go. It shows that even at his age, at 37, he's still got something to offer, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, Brush. It was a clinical finish. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And he still had the pace to be able to carry on, meet the goalkeeper at the precise moment that he should have slotted it, and he did.
Yeah,
Perfect.
had the composure, and and it was Casemiro as well with the through ball.
Yeah. Oh, mate, that is exactly what we've been lacking, isn't it, Paddy? I'm going to go to you on this, mate, because he made the mistake in the first half, and then that block that he made, and then straight past assist for Ronaldo. We've been lacking that for years, just that vision to see the pass instantly.
Well, lately, at FC Old School, Brusher and Matthew, remember, he's on we go to United together. He says, Casemiro, no go, blah, 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 blah. And I went, just give it a bit of time. And when I saw him give away that first goal, I thought, it's going to be problems here. He's going to take ages to try and adjust. But fair play to him. He got up and blocked and then played brilliantly with Ronaldo obviously coming up. And that through ball for him. We've been missing that central midfielder coming in there. I mean, De Jong would have been great, don't get me wrong, but he's still languishing in the Barcelona reserve still, isn't he? I don't know, or somewhere. But yeah, it's great. And we've needed that. And Casemiro, I was really pleased with him. Really pleased about that result and his performance. It really is refreshing. Even the Everton fans afterwards in their pod will go, Casemiro, you know, can't believe it. You know, come on, £60 million, can't you? And we need to do that. You know what I mean? So it was lovely to see him on their podcast complaining that we've got a world-class £60 million player coming on the midfield that really made the difference for us. So yeah, it was really pleasing on that aspect. I've got others to talk about in the game, but I'll talk to you about that in a minute when you move on.
Lovely accent as well there, Paddy.
I know, mate, can't believe it. I'm so upset, couldn't believe it.
What do you make, Matty, of the accent? No, what do you make of the Premier? Sorry,
it was a slow start by us. Casemiro got caught out early on. I still think it's going to take him a bit of time to adapt to the English league, and that's something you've got to afford these players. But look, for Ronaldo's goal, brilliant tackle to get the ball in the first place, and then a fantastic pass just to get Ronaldo straight through. And obviously, we all saw what Ronaldo done. Put it in the back of the net. He does what he does best: score goals. But I've got to give Antony his due. 3 goals in 3 games. First man not to play to do that. That fantastic signing, fantastic finish from him again. He loves to come inside onto that left foot from the right hand side and just put it in the corners. And that was the top corner or bottom corner. That seems to be a staple of his diet.
Yeah, there was no messing about, was there, Matty? I think it really helps as well that he's left-footed on that right-hand side.
Yeah. It offers so much more balance when you look now. When you've got these wide forwards, they're generally playing on the opposite side. You've normally got a left footer on the right, a right footer on the left. You think of the great partnerships as well. You had Ribery and Robin. Salah and Mane. You had Messi and Neymar at Barca. Bale and Ronaldo at Madrid. Asensio and Rodrigo as well. I mean, Asensio don't get much game time now, but look, it's all about having the wide players who can come inside and kind of shoot, and that seems to be the current trend in football.
If I was being overly critical, the only thing I will say is that he sort of was a bit quiet after the goal. But, you know, he's going to improve with more game time and as he adjusts and gets to know the system. And, yeah, that'll come in time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad you all talked about Antony, because he is actually our next topic. So we might as well bring him in.
I'm just waiting for that now. Yeah, waiting.
I think he scored in every game he's played so far, right?
Yeah.
And Antony's class. I watched the City game. He got that goal back. He's been coming on brilliantly. He's coming on. One of the players that I'm really impressed with, and Matty mentioned it earlier, I really am, and he is coming on brilliantly. I saw him. He scored on his debut against Arsenal, if I remember. I was there.
Yeah.
And I thought, and he made me jump up in the stands and really shout.
I'll tell you what, Paddy. I know it's very early days, but he's auditioning for that number 7 shirt. You know.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you're right. What? I think it is. Sorry, Matty. It's coming. That player is special. I'm getting a feeling of this player is special. I really do think that about Antony.
What I like about him, it seems to be silencing the doubters. Everybody's talked about the price tag. And you can say we probably paid over the odds, especially when you consider we could have got him much sooner in the transfer window for a lot less.
Yeah.
But look, he's come in, we've paid the price tag, and he's delivering. And that's all we ask of these players. You come in and you deliver. How many?
Quickly, and he's delivering quickly. I tell you what, if Sancho could do as good as Antony, he maintained his form, so that would be great. Sorry to go off subject slightly, but Antony, you're right, Matty. He has got his price tag.
Yeah, I mean, his price tag was a tad bit too high. No, we can't deny that. But look, he's coming. He's delivering the goods. He's scoring in every goal. He's making a nuisance of himself, and he's having an impact in games. And that's what we want, and that's what we need. How many players have we brought over the past 2 years who've come in and done very little, and we've spent way over the odds on them? This lad's come in.
There's a graveyard, Matty. There's a graveyard of players who never made it, mate, did they? That's
I don't want to go back to that graveyard either. It's a nightmare. But this lad's come in. He seems to be a shining ray of light in the squad. It's not that he's got a bit of character about him. He's got a bit of fire about him. He's got a bit of something about him, and it's a very hard thing to explain what he's got. But he's just got something about him as a player, and that you can see he's a bit of a character. He demands. And what I like is he seems to have engrossed himself in what Man United's all about, and that's an important thing as a player when you're coming in. You've got to be really involved with the club. Yeah. Whether you're a fan of the club or not, look at everyone.
He's fearless, and you can see he's a bit fearless, like a bit innocent fearlessness. I think I remember that from Mason Greenwood when he came on. He had that innocence, fierceness of no fear at all, and you want that, like an innocent. He just goes out and play whatever.
Absolutely, attitude will get you, where the talent doesn't, and this kid luckily has both.
He'll shoot outside the box, won't he, Matty? That's the thing. He likes to take chances when usually United players in the last 3 or 4 years at least haven't really tried hitting the ball when they could hit the ball. They're just always trying to spread it out to the wing and then cross it over. And it's like, just bloody hit it sometimes. And he hit it against City, and it went in, and it shows you, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I like. If you don't take a chance, you ain't got a chance.
But at the same time, having said that, he's also a team player. I just got a flashback to Ammonia in the first half, where he quite easily could have taken a shot on, but he looked up and saw Bruno Fernandes and tried to put on a plate for him. Unfortunately, Bruno was just a tad ahead and didn't really read what he was going to do. But that kind of stuff you can improve on in the training ground. So next time, you better bet that he's going to put that away.
Yeah, and it's not that. It's under the right coach, because it's under a coach that knows his game and knows his strengths. And that's only going to help enhance him within the squad. And I like this lad a lot, and I'm glad we have got him. because he's definitely the sort of player that you can watch and he's going to take you off the edge of your seat because you're not sure what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to go for an outrageous shot and just put it in the top bins, or if he's going to beat his man and then put it in the box and put it on a sixpence for someone. And
he got us back in the game, didn't he? With that goal, I think that changed things in the whole game. Once they went 1-0, you get a team on the up. I think that silenced them, that goal, I think. Didn't it? Do you think, Matty? I think it silenced them.
It took them by surprise. And it was the same with the goal against Arsenal. It took them by surprise. I don't think they were expecting it. And that, I actually seen a clip on YouTube of an Arsenal YouTuber who says Antony's done nothing, and then bang, Antony scores the goal.
That's what you want.
It's 1-0 Man United, and that's what you want. You want impact from these players.
Impact players.
We're definitely on the way up.
I think you know what. Talk about Elanga. You know, Elanga for me just runs around quickly like a sprinter, but hasn't got the substance for me.
He hasn't. But Paddy, what you got to remember about this Elanga lad is he good enough to be a first-team player at Man United? No, but we're in the earliest phases of a squad rebuild. It's probably going to take 2 years just to get the foundations in place for what Eric wants, and he'll become a squad player if he doesn't move on. You know, and that's all you can expect of him. I've never had high expectations of Elanga because I look at him and he's limited in everything he can do. But if you can come in and do a job for a few amount of games a season and that across all the competitions, I'm happy to do that. You can't just expect to have like a world-class starting 11 plus a world-class bench. Football doesn't work like that.
I know, Matt, it does take time, Matty, but I know what you're saying. I just think there are. I don't think we can just set our sights on these players. They're not Man United standards, and we just have to keep to them. We have, we talk about the squad in depth. We haven't got the quality and depth of this team. If you replace it, someone mentioned Dalot the other day. Who are we going to replace because you need to rest? Right, okay, well, that's another subject. And bring someone else in. It's not good enough, really, even to be in that spot. Even Dalot's not good enough to be in that spot.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Paddy, but that comes with time, doesn't it? So,
but,
bring someone in better. Bring someone in better.
Yeah.
But Paddy, we were never going to build a starting 11 in one window. It's always going to take time, and it's why, as fans, we've got to be a tad bit patient.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, guys,
and go on a season by season basis and look at the progression at the end of each and every season with regards to the coaching, the playing style, the tactics, the results, and the players and what the coach is doing.
I'm very ready to be patient with that, and I think it will take time. The one thing that does bug me, though, is the lack of structure and the people above Ten Hag, because already John Murtough has come out and said, all right, guys, don't expect spending like you saw this summer again in the near future. Don't expect to see as many players coming in as you did in this window, and stuff like that annoys me.
Yeah, and Brush, I recall saying ages ago when a few fans disagreed with me. They said, "Oh no, you should be giving them time and give them this." And they've got. Edwin van der Sar took the CEO job at Ajax with no experience. When I said I'm sceptical about this board because of the lack of experience and also the ownership model in itself. We know what the Glazers are.
I tell you what, though, with Van der Sar, they invested in him. They sent him to university. He went and got a degree and got properly qualified to be in that CEO position.
Yeah, it's now that he had the footballing infrastructure around him as well.
Yeah.
So
I've got no problem with ex-players being involved, provided they've got the right credentials.
But Matt, it's a results industry, unfortunately. I get about time. I get things like, but some of these players, some of them now, they need to be. I don't know. A few of them need to be gone. I've got to be honest.
I think we will see that in Jan, Paddy, especially. You touched on Dalot there. We haven't seen Wan-Bissaka at all. I think that's the coach making it very clear that he doesn't want him. I think perhaps he told them in summer that he didn't want him, and they didn't listen, and probably thought, you know what, you're going to have to make do. But now he sent a clear message that Wan-Bissaka is not part of his plans.
The problem is when these players get injured, for example, say Dalot get injured, who's he bringing? What happens?
So at the moment, at the moment, I was thinking about this today. Actually, I was thinking it's probably going to have to be Lindelof or Malacia, I guess.
Malassia's fine. Not Lindelof. No way.
But Paddy, look at it. We know we wanted a right back in the summer, but we didn't get one. We were linked with quite a few. We were linked with a young Brazilian at AS Monaco called Vanderson. There was links to Hakimi as well. Two decent right backs.
The Hakimi one would have cost an arm and a leg. That.
Yeah, he would have done, but there were decent links. I'm not sitting there saying it's like Ornstein linked us to him or Romano's linked us to him, but there were credible journalists that linked Hakimi with a move to Man United.
There's a kid at Lyon who looks quite good by the name of Gusto. I hope our scouting department is doing their due diligence and they've got a little list sorted in time for Jan.
I hope they are. They're not asleep at the wheel. Let's hope they're not.
It's funny you talk about Jan. We're actually watching a video about Fabrizio Romano where he was talking about Man U transfers, and he's actually linked us to a young centre back from Rangers called Leon King, and also he was talking about the Cody Gakpo situation. Obviously, he was a player that was linked with us for quite a bit, and he said Gakpo's not really looking to join Leeds, and that he's still keeping his options open. So I think, offensively, you talked about Elanga. We might see Elanga go and Gakpo come in.
Elanga hasn't really played a part, has he, this season that much? I don't know whether Ten Hag doesn't see it in him. And I'm a bit surprised about Donny van der Beek as well. What's going to happen with him?
I think he's going to leave in Jan. I honestly do.
Not the standard. It's not the standard. I'm telling you, it's not the standard at all. He's not. I've seen that. It's not.
Paddy, it's strange, but and it's strange though, Matty, as well. Paddy and Brush. It's just that Real Madrid wanted him before we got him, and then now suddenly he's not even wanted by anybody.
And you'd think that if he was going to succeed under any manager, it would be this one.
Yeah, you would. But I said it at the time when we signed him under LA. He's not the midfielder Man United need.
We thought it was a bit of a strange one at the time, didn't we, Matty?
It was very strange one because
and then as fans, you try and justify it, and I was like, all right, hold on. You know, he was wanted by Madrid. When you look at his age and potential, I was like, all right, we've actually done a good bit of business there because 35 million, this is tidy. We can probably make a profit on him. If Pogba goes, then we've got a ready-made replacement, and it's just not worked out for whatever reason.
I know you said talk about. I know we did differ on this, Matty, but Ole Solskjaer was a disaster.
It was, Paddy, but you also have to look at the infrastructure now.
And the lack thereof.
I backed Ole up until the Watford game. No. That Watford game, which was incidentally his last game.
Matty, up
until then. That's when I went. It is time for him to go. He's run his course, and
I went well before that, Matthew. Well before.
For me, I don't think he should have been put in the position in the first place. And again, it goes back to the owners. Yeah. The warning signs were there. I remember there was a game against Rochdale where he refused to make changes, and Pogba was hobbling about on the pitch, and we couldn't beat them.
I felt like the Europa League final was the real
again, in that game, Matt, Rashford could barely walk. We could all see it, and he was still on the field.
Technically, it was in it.
You could sit there talk he was in net, and fundamentally, was he good enough? No. But you also have to look at the options he had available to him. And for all the shit I got, sorry for swearing.
It's all right.
He wasn't that bad of a coach because the infrastructure above him was a crock of something.
It was, Matty, but he is the manager. The buck stops with the manager.
It does. But Paddy, when the structure above you doesn't really care and doesn't know what they're doing, it's always going to trickle down and impact everything else.
It was just the blind leading the blind for me.
Yeah,
it was just a recipe for disaster.
It all everything trickles down from the ownership. The Glazers are bad owners. We've seen the state of our stadium deteriorate. I mean, it's not been good for God knows how long. I mean, I've not gone to a Man United game in over 10 years because I refuse to give them cretins my money. I simply won't give them cretins my money anymore. I can't do it. I can't.
But Matt, I know what you're saying. I won't buy any merchandise. But you have to go and see what's going on the pitch to see. I was there and I saw Ole. Unfortunately, I saw Ole and Man City game last year, mate. And I saw Ole completely next to Pop Guardiola, sorry. And he was an orchestra, Guardiola. And then I looked at Ole next to him. Oh dear.
Yeah, but Paddy, who's that the result of? Who is that the result of? It's the result of the ownership and the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Did you get a good look at his iPad, Paddy? I always wondered what on earth he was doing on there.
It was a comedy actor.
Playing Angry Birds would be my guess.
How he kept going with Maguire and Shaw. Oh my God, for how long? Watching two Dumb and Dumber together at the back for how long?
I'll tell you what. That brings me on to a point actually from Everton. That brings me on to Everton. Credit to Luke Shaw. He had a good game.
Yeah, may have had a good game.
Brush, please don't mention Roberto Carlos.
No, I'm not going to go that far. But
he had a good game, but he's not the left back for this club. No.
Yeah, listen, Paddy. Had we been properly run, he should have been out the door years ago. But we're in a situation we've got him.
Yeah, 15-year contract from Ed Woodward, Jones.
But we're in a position where we've got him. He's finally trimmed down. He's lost weight. He's put in an effort. So all we can do is get behind him while he remains our player.
Yeah.
There was someone at Newcastle that was. No one will know him here, but he was bought years ago, and he'd been on the payroll for about 4 or 5 years, and I don't think he'd even really played a game, and he was the highest paid player at Newcastle. I can't remember his name. He's probably still there, but
is he in the cafe? Is he in the cafe now serving drinks?
Probably did that. That's probably what. But he was like the highest paid player at Newcastle, and then everybody didn't know about it. And then people were like, "What's going on here? Who's this person?" He's actually signed as a player, but he's not even played a game. He's been there about 5 years. But you get these things in football, don't you? And I think I agree with Matty in a sense that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer clearly didn't choose any of those players. Like he was the puppet on the strings for the Glazers to be able to do whatever they wanted to do. I completely agree. But I also see that what he did against PSG and then what he didn't do against Villarreal really does come down to management. And he was lacking that. And I think with Ten Hag, we've got someone who's really knows the game and what he's a winner.
The winner. Yeah. He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner. And what he's done even in his own playing career, I think he was involved with the FC20 team when McLaren won it.
It was McLaren's number 2 at FC20, and he was also a number 2 under Guardiola at Bayern Munich. I think he was head coach at Bayern Munich too, which is like their second team.
Brilliant apprenticeship.
Yeah, and you see what Arteta's doing, don't you? And you see that he's taken something from Guardiola, and I can only see Ten Hag taking things from Guardiola too that will work for him and other people that he's worked around as well in football.
It's not that. One of the key things I like with Eric, he seems to have his own set philosophy. So although he's took quite a bit from Pep Guardiola, he seems to have also devised his own way as well. And whereas he has his own standards and he still has his own demands and expectations, and it's not purely living off the reputation of what he done with Guardiola at Bayern Munich.
It's like I don't know if you agree, Brush, but I love Ten Hag's anger. He looks so furious, like someone's kicked his bike or something. He looks really mad.
He pays attention to detail. He does, and I love that. I quite like how he handles the media as well. He's very blunt and straight to the point, no messing about.
But I still think in his press conferences, he's still not happy. He's still not really happy with things, and we're not really playing well. I was there for Liverpool and Arsenal. We didn't. Arsenal were brilliant that day, but we won. We weren't playing very well. Paul Scholes has picked up on it, saying that even against Everton, we didn't play fantastic, but we got character. We got back in the game. We won the 3 points. Amoni saying the same thing. But we're still not playing fluently and brilliant. It is. Matty's correct about it takes time. It takes time for this to happen. but we're still not playing. We're still getting the results, aren't we?
And that's the important thing at this stage. I'll tell you what, that last 10 minutes was very nervy. I had 1 or 2 heart attacks.
Here's the thing.
especially when Jordan Pickford came forward, I was like, "Oh, geez, here we go."
The thing is, it matters. Matty, just give me 2 seconds. I'm about to say. Thing is, I hate this in a sense of about hanging on at the end after 5. Why are we hanging on? Like you think under 10. Why are we not that good now to put these?
I tell you what, that Rashford goal, had it stood, it would have made all the difference in that last 10 minutes. I credited De Gea as well. He pulled off a great save towards the end.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, don't get me wrong, De Gea's still got to go. I still think we need a better goalkeeper. And in an ideal world, we'll go sign Diego Costa from FC Porto.
Hasn't he got to Wolves now? Oh, sorry, he's the keeper. Sorry,
the keeper. Is it Diego or Diogo? I know
it's Diogo. Oh. It's very similar to Diogo.
My bad on the first name, Diogo.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love us to get him because he's one of these young keepers. He's got room to grow, and he seems to be technically good with the ball at his feet, which is something we've lacked for years. But once again, it brings us back to something we've talked about earlier, and that's the fact that we're in the early phases of doing the rebuild. If you look at the players we actually got rid of this summer, we got Alex Telles went on loan. He's coming back at the end of the season.
That one annoyed me, that Matty. We really should have sold him.
He should have gone.
I totally agree. He should have gone. Totally agree. I never rated him or seen the point in buying him in the first place.
And you know, Sevilla are sat on that money as well. They got from Jules Koundé and the centre half they sold to Aston Villa. So why we couldn't get like a 10 million euros for Telles, I don't know.
Diego Carlos.
Diego Carlos, that's the one. Yeah.
It's not that Eric Boyer, he's gone on loan to Marseille. Marseille only buy him if they qualify for the Champions League.
And he has to play a certain number of games, I think, percentage-wise.
Yeah. We know his injury record, so like this is going to be coming back. So has the infrastructure actually started moving out the deadwood? Not really, and that's where I think Boy's in the last year of his contract, or if not, it's very close to ending. I'm not sure. Just if it's close to ending, just make a deal with him. You part ways. He gets a fresh start somewhere else. Move him on. Telles, I'm sure you can send him back to a Portuguese team for some money and get him out. Phil Jones.
But it's imperative that we start selling players. Though we just don't balance the books. It's annoying.
We have to get rid of Deadwood. I mean, Telles. Who else? I mean, to be fair, I mean, is Varane made of glass because he's back in the team now again? But worries me about him, to be fair, because any of our defenders, I want a strong defence. I want a strong midfield defence, and obviously the keeper we discussed just then. Well, we don't, and our forward line. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for: strong defence and a strong midfield. And even moving forward, I want the Vidic, Ferdinand sort of type centre, centre defence, and I want a midfield like we used to have before. And I'm going to take time, but that's what I want. But at the moment, with that, if we get any injuries, what's coming in is shit.
And Paddy, that's where I side, Paddy.
Sorry to say that. I'm lying.
It's going to take time. It's going to take time to do that. We look at the deals when it comes to moving players out in the summer. It wasn't great. And if you look at the context of our incomings for the summer, it wasn't that good. Antony, we did it daddy on, and we waited and we waited and we waited, and we ended up paying way over the odds. We spent far too long chasing De Jong. Martinez, we didn't win Martinez. We got lucky because he favoured the move to Man United. Arsenal were ahead every step of the way.
And again, Matty, had we prioritised Martinez and got that done early in the window, it would have been a lot cheaper. It was once Arsenal were in there, we're in a bidding war, and it really hiked that price up.
Yeah. You look how quickly we wrapped up the Casemiro deal.
That one came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Absolutely out of nowhere.
Literally, it's got been no more than a week at best before we were linked with Casemiro, and then he signed for Man United.
Yeah, because I remember the week before, the week before he arrived, they were linking us to Rabiot.
Yeah, but
and his mum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good riddance.
I think we've still got his mum.
Just
She's with us now.
comedy again. Comedy
Sure,
show,
that's a
that,
word.
isn't it? It's
Yeah,
only Fools and Horses comedy show, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at the deal before the Rabia one. Marco Arnautovic, a known racist. We were looking to sign Marco Arnautovic. Now,
Only
us
Fools
signing
and
him
Horses.
was the only time I've questioned whether I could continue supporting Man United, because I've known that we're looking to sign a known racist. I question whether I could continue supporting them. I couldn't support a team that's gone out and brought a known racist. I don't care how good of a player he is.
Matty, is it racism or xenophobia? Is it?
It racism used a derogatory word. I'm not going to say which, against a player in the Eredivisie, and he also made a derogatory statement on international duty, for which David Alaba, current centre back at Real Madrid, grabbed him round the throat, and they had
it was on more than one occasion as well, isn't it? So
yeah. So that's why I'd have to question whether I could continue supporting the club if they're signing a player who's got two separate incidents of essentially the same thing, and that's racism.
He did get the ban for it as well, so that's clear.
It was just an April. It was just an April Fool, lads. That's all it was. So it passed, didn't it? So,
and even if you put that to a side, if you just look at the player, it was a bit shocking that that's what we're linked to.
Yeah, and once again, what does that come down to? Are they Eric's boys? I don't believe they are. I think they're more club boys. And then it's right, Eric, this is what you got. This is what you got to work with.
I want to see that bar raised, because I want the quality Man City have got. I know certain not, but I want to Casemiro. Yeah, I know. I want that quality. I know it's going to take time. You said Matty, but the Casemiro. What's the left back for City?
Sergio Gomez.
No, Cancelo.
Cancelo. I want someone like Cancelo, because and other players, quality is brought in there.
We were in for him at one point.
I'll tell you what, Paddy, we turned him down when we had the chance.
Yeah. We turned Cancelo down.
That's the Glazers not knowing anything about football. But we got to move on to the last topic, guys, because we know this is going to be a very tough game. Newcastle are really on their high horse at the moment. They've got their investors, their new owners in, and they're taking it slowly. They're trying to potentially reach European positions, not necessarily Champions League, but they are close to the Champions League positions at the moment. They're on form. They're doing very well. Eddie Howe's getting the best out of the team. They're buying in good. What do you make of this game against Newcastle, Matty? And do you think it's an easy 3 points, or do you think it's going to be a tough one?
Oh, it's going to be a very tough one. You look at them, they're a decent squad, and they're banging form. I think they've won 2 games in a row now. Now, prior to that, they'd only won once, and that was the opening day. Almiron, he seems to have found a bit of form. That he scored a couple of good goals the other day. Bruno Guimaraes, the midfielder, fantastic signing. I have to say, really brilliant signing. One of the biggest things I can say about Newcastle as a positive, they don't seem to be buying players out of ego or name, and they've built infrastructure, and they seem to be following.
They're doing things the right way, Matty.
Yeah. They're following their own set process of building infrastructure and buying smart rather than just buying anybody. We briefly talked about the Sevilla centre back who joined Villa. Newcastle tried to buy him, but essentially the price tag was too high. I think there was a £24 million difference in the price tag. Newcastle quoted 50 million, and Newcastle just went, nah, it's not worth that much. We're off, which is quite surprising. Now, but it shows that they're being run smart. You look at the signings, Bartman, fantastic signing at centre back, really good player. I like him. Trippier, a player we were seeing for, we didn't get. Guimaraes, fantastic signing since they got him. He's a really good player. He seems to be embodying everything positive about Newcastle at the moment, and embracing what it means to play for Newcastle. And the infrastructure there is going about everything in the right way, and that's only going to help enhance what they're doing on the pitch. And we've seen that in the last couple of games with the results and the performances that they've had. It's going to be a very tough game. I predict a 1-goal margin, probably a 2-1 win for us. I think we've got that a tad bit more quality, but you can't underestimate Eddie Howe's a top coach, and they've got some top players in there, and they're doing a really good job. They're having a good season.
So what you're saying, Matt, is it's going to be another heart attack game for Brush, right?
That is exactly what it is. I feel like, yeah, we have to be at our best to beat them. They gave Man City a good run for their money as well. That 3-3 game was electric. Yeah, we got to be at our best. Yeah, they're doing everything the right way, aren't they? They're building step by step. In a couple of years' time, we're really going to have to worry about them.
We do. Paddy, do you think it's the advantage of being at home for us, or do you think it's good for Newcastle to, because you see how many points people get at Old Trafford these days? It's not, it's not a scarcity, is it? People are doing very well when they play us at Old Trafford, and when we play away, we seem to do better. It seems from the eye test anyway. But yeah, what do you think, mate?
This is a tricky game. Newcastle are playing really well. They're really set up very well. I've been impressed with Newcastle. I really have. This is a tough one to watch. It'll be interesting to see when I go to see how they set up and how we play at home. But I think when we talk about Antony, I think Antony's going to be a setting. It's going to be a different class. I think in this game, it's going to be a good see what happens. I think our defense has got to be really on point now against these lot. Really have. I mean, these aren't Everton, by the way, either, and they stood up to City. So I think it's going to be a tough one. I don't know if we're going to. I don't know. I really predict a result. Newcastle 2 years ago would be winning this game, but I think we're going to struggle a little bit. We've got to make sure that we finish these teams off, because we're hanging on for the last 10 minutes like we did against Everton. Newcastle will punish us, I think.
And I'll tell you what, the one thing that concerns me is that when we rotate, we look completely different, and it's a shambles. But with the amount of games coming thick and fast, you'd think that there would have to be some rotation, right? So that worries me. I was surprised that Eriksen played both of the games this past week. I was kind of hoping he would get a rest against Ammonia and play Everton, but he did both, which is fantastic. But how long can he keep doing that for?
So I don't want to see Eriksen play Thursday. I want him rested for the game against Newcastle.
Yeah.
This is a key game for Martinez going up against Callum Wilson, Casemiro trying to stop Guimaraes. And also Eriksen. I think those are the three key players for us in this game, because essentially Eriksen's got to try and feed that forward line, and Casemiro's got to try and keep that midfield quiet, and especially that Bruno Guimaraes. And obviously Callum Wilson, he might not be a good goal scorer, but as an all-round forward, he seems to have everything to his game. He can get in behind, he's quick, he's strong, he can hold the ball up, he can link up play.
Guys, what do you think of Almiron as well? He's been exceptional, isn't he, for Newcastle? You remember when he first came
he's finally coming good. He's finally added goals to his game, which we saw in the MLS.
Yeah,
it's worrying.
He is, isn't he, Paddy? He's one to worry about.
He is, and this is the thing I was going to come on to, that inconsistency with some of these players. They'll turn up last week to Everton, they may not turn up to Newcastle, and then we got to switch it around again. That seems to be a pattern. I don't know what you think, Bush and Matty. I've seen that. They go, yeah, this player's going to do it, except for Antony, because Anthony's been playing consistently well. But it seems to be a sort of an inconsistency. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can maintain the consistency against Newcastle. We've been playing Newcastle. That's what I want to see, and that's a worry for me. But you're right. The other player you just mentioned, by the way, yeah, very good. They got good players all the way around. They've bought well, by the way. They have bought very well.
They bought very smartly. Almiron, I've been impressed with him recently. He has started finally delivering. He's going to be a very tricky little player coming in onto that left foot from the right wing, and that it's going to be a tough task trying to keep him quiet.
Yeah, this is the Almiron we saw in the MLS. We saw flashes of brilliance here, but he wasn't really getting the end result and finishing chances off. And now he's added goals to his game, so it's a worry.
So if we got to do a prediction, guys, I know we don't really like to do these. What do you think the result will be? I'm pretty sure Matty's already said, didn't you? It'd be 1 goal margin, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Man United.
You know what? I really want to quit while I'm ahead, because I predicted 2-1 against Everton, and I got that one right.
Yeah.
I
Carry
feel to
on,
just
carry
stop now.
No, do
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go 2-1 again. This one, it has to be a win. Has to be.
I'm going to ask you, Brush. Yeah, is it? We go down 1-0.
Oh, I hope not.
The
But
one
I'll tell you what. When I did look at the table, we haven't had any draws yet. You know,
No, we haven't. That's
We-
right.
we haven't. So 3 games in the space of a week. I expect there to be at least one draw.
Yeah, maybe it could be a draw.
I,
Paddy, what do you
I don't know
think?
where it's going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3-2, high scoring
Oh.
game.
Wow.
Who to though? Who to?
I
Man U or Newcastle?
I think
You might
United.
say Newcastle?
I think Newcastle are very good. I think we're very good as well. So I think
I hope we don't give any silly fouls away. That Trippier is quite good on set pieces.
Yeah.
He is good. And I mean, like you say,
Yeah.
Dallas, our defense has got to be on its game, and they've got to. I mean, there's this thing about the midfield, isn't there? There's big about McTominay, Fred, Casemiro, whatever. And also, look, if Ronaldo does the business, I'll be pleased because I know he's had a lot of stick lately, and he came on at Everton, scored that goal, and I was really, really pleased when he scored that goal. That Casemiro put through and left foot, I thought it was great. Yeah. And I
So yeah,
he-
what about the teams then, guys? Then going on what Paddy's saying there, would you like to start with what we had against Everton, or do you change it around to what the team would have been at the end of the Everton game? Is that the starting team? Is it the Ammonia team? Who would you prefer to see up top at least?
I want to see Ronaldo up top. I want to see Rashford and Antony on the wing. I want to see Casemiro and Fred in midfield. I want to see Eriksen as the number 10. I think Dallo, Malacia, Martinez, Varane back 4, and the hiring goal. And Fred give him one simple job: sit on that Bruno Guimaraes and just stop him playing the game.
You can't do that. You can't sit on people in football. Be nice, wouldn't it? That's how we deal with Haaland, isn't it? Just all pile on him.
Yeah, no, I've signed a petition to have him deported anyway, so that's going to be good.
He was born in England. What are you on about?
I know. I mean, I'm border force, so I can get rid of him. So.
He was born in England, though.
Listen, Paddy, I'm just hoping the kid gets bored in 2-3 years or goes to Madrid. I can't take 10 years of this.
I want us to buy, and we need a striker as we do. If we bought someone like that, like a Chicharito, I don't know, like a Haaland, double. I would love that. To have a striker with that sort of impact for us. I would love that.
Quickly, Man United are going to be looking to buy a striker next summer. Ideally, who do you want brought in? I've seen a lot of different names.
I would like, ideally, in an ideal world, I would like Lautaro Martinez from Inter.
Mm-hmm. He's a good player, yeah.
Paddy?
Well, is there a kid at Benfica as well? Is there a kid at Benfica?
Ramos. Yeah, looks very good, lively. He's probably the one that...
I told Matty earlier my player would be to bring Sesko in.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's out of the question now, isn't he? Because he's going to Leipzig next summer.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
You're getting quick with these players. Do you know what, Brush? That saga with Fergie got Chicharito for 9 million, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was muted very quickly, all done. And we talked about this, about the structure, about the City have got it. I don't want to go back to City all the time, but they have got their scouting, Alvarez all sorted, all tied up.
Yeah.
I just wish we were quick off the cuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, again, it comes down to the structure, doesn't it, Paddy? Because obviously this summer we were linked to a Sesko. And I was saying, I was like, listen, this kid, having looked at him, he's got bags of potential. He reminded me of a young Haaland, but without the goal input. I didn't think he was quite ready for the Premier League. Ideally, it would have been great if we could have signed him and kept him there at Salzburg. And that's exactly what Leipzig have done. They've signed him for about 20 odd million. They've loaned him back out and he arrives next summer. And in the meantime, they went and got Timo Werner. So effectively, they've already made up for when they're going to lose Christopher and Nkunku. And that's how clubs with vision move forward.
I think we could go for the Endrick, the striker for Palmeiras. I don't know if you've heard of him. There's a lot
very young, isn't he? Yeah, again, that is someone that we should be jumping on now, so we can sign him when he's 18.
Like the Jude Bellingham of strikers, you know, like he's 16, he's playing in Palmeiras' first team, and he's rocking it. And it's like, this boy.
I'd love Endrick.
Get in there early.
Yeah. I'd love Endrick, but I think realistically, we won't get him. Normally, young Brazilians, when they tend to come to Europe, it's generally Portugal, Spain. I'd probably say Italy as well, that tend to get them. It's very rare, the English teams.
But this is the thing, though, Matty. When you look at our squad now, you see all the South Americans and Portuguese speakers. It's bound to help.
Hopefully, we'll do when we can't get him in, because it'd be a fantastic acquisition for the club. But again, long-term vision. Even at 18, you know, you don't have to immediately use him. You can loan him out for a year or two.
Long-term vision. That's what you're saying. Get in there quickly before you know it. Like you get that headline that says we've signed so-and-so. I never saw that coming. Did you?
Yeah. But Paddy,
I can't remember the last time I said that. Really.
Exactly.
Well, in a good way. Well, I mean, the Casemiro one, I was out of nowhere. But it didn't really make sense to me.
Well, was a bit. I know we didn't like that in the end, but Di Maria was quite a quick one.
Waste of time.
It was, but at the time it was like, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought the money involved was ridiculous. I'm not going to lie to you.
I never wanted Di Maria in the first place, and I recall reading that he didn't actually want to join Man United.
He didn't want to come either, did he?
No. He only come to Man United because
it was a payday
at the time. British financial fair play rules, and essentially they couldn't spend the money required to buy him, but it was always PSG was always his favourite option.
His missus didn't fancy either.
Infrastructure goes back in getting stupid money.
If I saw him, Matty, I'd say, do you know what, mate? You were a failure at Man United. You cannot join those heroes in the museum, can you, mate? And I said this to Dwight York a few weeks ago when I met him at the gym. I said, Dwight, you're one of my heroes of 1999. You can go in that museum, but Pogba can't be considered a hero at this club. And I'd be really upset if it was me. Go, really? No, you're a failure. You are a failure at Manchester United. Do you know that?
But Paddy, do you think Di Maria actually cares about kids?
No, they don't care. I know. I care because I've been at this.
Paddy, I care.
I know.
I care. We all care. We're all United fans.
Yeah, but I don't think Di Maria cares the way we do.
I know. I'm just saying, Matty, if I saw these players and I would say to them to their faces up close, you're a failure.
Even Michael Owen's more accepted than Di Maria, and that tells the story, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Between a rock and a hard place is that one, Matt.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, that brings back horrible memories for me, especially when we handed him the number 7 shirt.
Yeah,
you'd prefer. He did more for the club than
the Man City game. Yeah,
granted.
Yeah,
do you know what? I to this day I still blame Rio Ferdinand for that. We should have beat them 3-2. Should never have made Owen the hero. What was he doing for that Craig Bellamy goal?
It's horrible. But
Rio, your position is all wrong. What are you doing?
Russ, you got to remember, mate, that he never won a Premier League with Liverpool, but he did with Man United.
No, he didn't. Yeah, but still, it was a bittersweet one, wasn't it? I was sad about that.
I'll be happy.
Do you know what it is? It's probably the fact that we gave him the number 7 shirt. It was such a depressing time for us when, you know, Fergie was towing the party line of there being no value in the market, and then presenting us with the likes of Bebe and Obertan. God.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think a big thing about buying players from clubs like, you know, Paul Ince went to Liverpool, traitor. Schmeichel.
Oh, but I mean, he took the scenic route, didn't he? He went to Inter Milan first.
Yeah. Man U, Inter Milan, 2 years later, Liverpool.
Well, let's read out. Let me just read out some comments, quick, people, because we got a few here. Noel Kane, big up, lads. He says, big up Anthony Herbert, big up Matt and the panel. Anthony says 12 likes. Yes, smash the like, share, subscribe if you can. Big G, oi peeps. Muncie talks, big up Muncie, mate, big up lads. Big G says their midfielders looking awesome at the minute. Almiron and Bruno are on fire. Big up Mama, Flossie, Miggy and Bruno. Are United at home? Yes, they are, finally. And Big G says, DDG, AWB, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Ericsson, Rashford, Ronaldo, Antony. Would you agree with this team, ladies and gentlemen?
There's two there that definitely aren't going to play, I don't think.
Maguire's not, no. Hopefully not.
No Wan-Bissaka and no Maguire.
No, sure, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm maybe not sure either. But we do respect your team there, Big G. Maybe they would do things completely. Yeah. Big G says Ramos, long-term, Endrick. Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that. This is where United's recruitment policy has failed, to be fair. Ole did try and rejuvenate this, but getting players young hasn't been done.
Right. We've all talked about infrastructure. Once again, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, to give a bit of credit to him, he did try and get Haaland and Jude Bellingham.
Yeah. Interestingly, quickly about Jude Bellingham, John Murto is a very close friend of Jude's dad, Mark. Maybe that plays a part in Bellingham coming to Man United, especially with Liverpool seemingly falling away. Would he want to go to a team that's going to take, I reckon, about 3 years to rebuild and kind of get back to where
my only worry, Matty, is that where we're at, I think if he comes to us, it might be for the money, and I don't want players to come here for the money. I think we'd pay over the odds as well, wouldn't we?
Matty, isn't his dad a Liverpool fan, though?
You know what? All I know is John Murto, who's at DOF, and Jude's dad, Mark, very close.
I hope he doesn't go there, though. If he doesn't come to us, I hope he goes to Madrid.
Matty, I know, because we're up in Brum, aren't we? We talk up here, but it's his dad plays in a football team, doesn't he, up here, and the lads? That's how I know, because mates, friends, they see him up. He plays in Brum for a football team like you do, Matty, on the five side, whatever. And I think he's a Liverpool fan. He wears a Liverpool shirt when he's playing football.
Does it?
Yeah, apparently there was rumours as well that they had some sort of agreement. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool are in the mix for him.
No, I wouldn't.
If I see him in Matty, if we see him in Birmingham, Bellingham, come on! If I catch him coming through the airport here, mate, I'll have words. Don't worry, mate.
Next time we go to St Andrews, I'll have a word with his brother Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll speak to Joe, but I'll say to Joe, "Hey Joe, get Drew to sign for Man United now. They're a team on the up."
Come on, we've got to keep.
I'll tell you what, you should keep an eye on Job as well. See how he gets on.
He's very good.
He's actually highly touted to the same equivalent as what Jude is within the Birmingham region. I've spoken to a few people from Birmingham City because I'm fortunate enough to be able to get free tickets to go and watch them as part of my Sunday League team. And he's highly touted up here. And rated by a lot of people.
See things like that we shouldn't rule out, because I know like the main prize is Jude, but sometimes these other gems just go under the radar. Because I remember obviously Eden Hazard, what a fantastic player, but his younger brother, he's gone on to have a very decent career. Torgan Hazard.
Yeah, it's Torgan.
Not as good as his brother though, was he?
Nah, obviously not that level, but again, he was very tidy. He was at Chelsea as well at one point, but they didn't use him.
It happens. Arsenal let go of Harry Kane. He ends up at Spurs and things.
Hey, listen, Arsenal signed Kolo Touré and deemed Yaya not good enough.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All teams make mistakes of that caliber, though. We've done it. Arsenal have done it. Spurs have done it. Newcastle have done it. Chelsea have done it. All teams do it at some point.
Yeah. If we all had a crystal ball and we could predict the future, then we'd all
Exactly.
We are going to finish up now, though, because we've gone over the hour mark. It was a brilliant discussion yet again with all you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and doing this with us. Shout out where your social media is. Matty, starting with you. Where can people find you?
You can normally find me on The Takeaway on the Man United Agenda on a Friday night. You can also find me on Twitter at MattyAdam87.
Yeah, please go check out the Man United Agenda. It's a brilliant channel. Brush.
You can find me on Twitter at Brushy87, all capitals. Aside from that, you can catch me online in a lot of places. The United Agenda is one of them. And also like, share, and subscribe to this channel right here.
Thank you very much, Brush and Matty. Thank you, guys. Yes, the Man United Agenda. Once again, Paddy's representing too, because it is one of my favourite Man United fan channel out there. It's pure, it's honest. And this is where I found these guys as well, because they have the same intent, pure honesty, and that's all I love on my channel as well. So, Paddy, where can everyone find you, mate? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm on the agenda with the lads from time to time now. Yeah, I'm Admiral MUFC. Admiral's the brand for me. Patrick Silk 11, Gordon Hill. I don't know if you remember this. That's Gordon Hill's number 11 player. That's the reason why I'm on Twitter there. And JFK KPOD for my other acting pursuits that I do. So I'm on there as well.
Nice, mate. Thank you so much, Paddy, and everybody else. Matty, Brush, thank you so much. We'll be back hopefully next week. If you guys fancy it, we'll have more wonderful things to talk about another 2 wins. Let's hope. Boring Thursday football's coming up for us in 2 days, so looking forward to that. Champions League tonight, though, so I'll be for that and having a look and crying a little bit that we're not there. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Smash like, share, subscribe if you can. And if you have only just come in, rewind Craig David style backwards and have a little look. See what you think. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Have a brilliant rest of your week.
Take care.
Bye-bye.